Can you test the live stream whether the light is flickering behind me, just like on the screen? Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 23. Ye pyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvita tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhipurvakam. Maybe you can just, I don't know how to do that. Maybe more of the center, more at the center. Little bit of that light, not much exposure to that. You check, you monitor on the live. No, it won't be instantaneous. Ye, those who, api, also, anya, of other, devata, gods, bhaktaha, devotees, yajante, worship, shraddhaya, anvitaha, with faith, te, they, api, also, mam, me, eva, only, kaunteya, O son of Kunti, yajanti, they worship, avidhipurvakam, in a wrong way. You have to basically not show much of the behind the line. Slight flickering, I think. So, if you can shift the camera. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Please repeat. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Purport: persons who are engaged in the worship of demigods are not very intelligent, although such worship is offered to me indirectly, Krishna says. For example, when a man pours water on the leaves and branches of a tree without pouring water on the root, he does so without sufficient knowledge or without observing regulative principles. Similarly, the process of rendering service to different parts of the body is to supply food to the stomach. The demigods are, so to speak, different officers and directors in the government of the Supreme Lord. One has to follow the laws made by the government, not by the officers or directors. Similarly, everyone is to offer his worship to the Supreme Lord only. That will automatically satisfy the different officers and directors of the Lord. The officers and directors are engaged as representatives of the government, and to offer some bribe to the officers and directors is illegal. This is stated here as avidhipurvakam. In other words, Krishna does not approve the unnecessary worship of the demigods. So this is a very important verse, and especially for Indians. Indians are confused. They have different philosophies. Many Hindus are very confused actually. And when we say Krishna is the only Supreme Personality of Godhead and nobody else, they say you are Abrahamic. You are like Muslims and Christians, advocating only one God. But this is in our own scriptures. And whatever Abrahamic faiths or whatever, we have to understand one thing, that any religious system that is there is enunciated by Krishna only. even those Abrahamic faiths. According to time, place and circumstance, Desha Kala Patra Anusara, Krishna comes or he sends his representatives to preach religious principles. And last 3 weeks, this Monday, the last Monday, today is Sunday, the Monday of the last week, we finished the third part of a conversation for 3 weeks, but for 3 consecutive Mondays. I think some of you might have been there in those live streams. We discussed a very illuminating conversation between Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and an Islamic scholar. And this conversation was published in the magazine called The Harmonist in the year 1931, in 3 separate issues, in 3 parts. So we studied that conversation elaborately in 3 lectures. And you can see the most masterful explanation. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was even teaching the Islamic scholar about Islam. And he showed, quoting from the Quran, saying that every prophet must be respected as much as Prophet Muhammad. And every scripture should be worshipped as much as the Quran. Quoted from the Quran. And how they should not do extremism. This is all quoted in the Quran, and it was quoted by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to the Islamic scholar. And in another place, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he also wrote that Moses, in the, I think, Judaism and Christianity, Moses, Old Testament, they're known. So Moses, apparently, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Acharya, they can see. We can't see these things. So according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a great Acharya, he said Moses is an Acharya who was in the dāsa. Dāsa means servitude. With Krishna, we can have different relationships, broadly categorized into 5. Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakhyaras, Vatsalyaras, and Madhuryaras. That means passive appreciation, Shantaras, active servitude, Dasyaras, intimate friendship, Sakhyaras, parental, Vatsalya, and conjugal, Madhurya. That means, for example, the plants in Vrindavan, they are appreciating the beauty of Krishna. So that is, from far you appreciate. That is Shantaras. Dasyaras means next step. Okay, Krishna is great. I am small. So I have to serve the great. So let me engage in active service. An example of Dasyaras is Hanuman. Daruka. Daruka is the charioteer of Krishna. Garuda. They are of servitude. They accept, like Hanuman, he accepts Ram as master. Ram Dut Hanuman. He does not treat Ram like a friend. Oh, hello Ram, how are you? But Arjuna does that. You see. What is that verse? Yeah, where is that? What is that number? Yeah, 11, 41 and 42. Sakheti matva prasabham yaduktam he Krishna he Yadava he sakheti ajanata mahimanam tavedam maya pramadat pranayena vapi yacchavaha sartham satkrutosi vihara shayyasana bhojaneshu ekothavaप्यच्युत tatsamaksham takshamaye tvam aham aprameyam. So this Arjuna said after he saw the Virat Roop of Krishna. What did he say? Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. Actually, there was no offense, actually. We forget. Actually, Arjuna did not forget. And even if he forgot, it is only by the potency of Yoga Maya. There are two Mayas. Of course, there are many energies. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyata. Krishna has many energies. But two prominently, Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti. Or internal potency and external potency. Internal potency acts in the spiritual world, in the Vaikuntha, which is 3/4 of the entire energy of the Lord. All the material world that we see, we only can see a very minuscule portion of the entire universe. And there are trillions and gazillions of such universes. And all of them put together only constitute 1/4 of Krishna's energies. And the rest 3/4 is in the Vaikuntha region, where there are innumerable Vaikuntha planets. Now there, Yogamaya acts. Like for example, Yashoda. She dares to tie Krishna up for his naughty activities. Who can dare to tie God up? First of all, even if he dares, some people idiots, they dare. They try to talk too much about God. There is no God. God is all for weak-hearted people. Anybody who is a scientist, he gets puffed up. Doctor, little bit materially educated, he gets puffed up and he says there is no God. God is for the weak-hearted people, just for them to get some strength. It is invented. So those idiots may try to, challenge or defy. But they will be thwarted by the energy of God. One day death will come. Just like in 2012, Stephen Hawking, I think the famous physicist, he said, there is no God. 2019, God said there is no Stephen Hawking. That is God. Okay? Don't try to be bossing around. God is the ultimate boss. Mrityu sarvaharas chaham. Krishna already said in the Bhagavad Gita, Mrityu sarvaharas chaham. What did he say? As death, I will come and take everything from you. Already Stephen Hawking was suffering. His past karma, what he did. One side he has good intelligence, sharp intelligence. Other side he has disability. He was suffering. Okay, we don't make fun of people who are suffering. But at least we have to understand that, okay, I'm suffering because of some karma I have done. At least let me chant in this life, become devotee. Real intelligence is actually that. When we are really intelligent, when we will surrender. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. Who is actually jnanavan, who is actually learned, he will surrender to Krishna. Those who are not jnanavan, alpa buddhi, less intelligent people, they don't do. Who don't have much stock of intelligence, they don't surrender to Krishna. They challenge, think that they are very intelligent. God will always show that he is always one step ahead of us. Hiranyakashipu, classic example. Ravana, classic example. Hiranyakashipu got a benediction from Brahma that in every single way possible, conceivable for humans, he said, nobody can kill me. Brahma said, okay, fine, I'll give you. Narasimhadev killed him, keeping intact all the promises of Brahma, that he cannot be killed in the day, cannot be killed in the night, cannot be killed inside an enclosure, outside an enclosure, or morning, evening, afternoon, night, nothing. So he covered everything by a weapon, by humans, by animals, everything he said. And then he was killed by Narasimhadev. All the promises were kept intact. So we may think that we have our insurance, we have our thing to cover ourselves. Nothing can cover ourselves. We are starkly naked in front of Krishna. we cannot hide. Sarvatokshi shiromukham. Everywhere are his eyes. Sarvatokshi. So, anyway, Arjuna or Yashoda, when they exhibit seeming audacity by punishing Krishna, by addressing him rashly, by joking with him, making fun of him, these are not activities by Mahamaya. like idiots in this material world. They are, out of love, Krishna actually allows them to forget the glories of Krishna. When Krishna showed the entire universe within his mouth, Yashoda Maya was, for a moment, she was struck with wonder. The next moment she forgot, and then, oh, this is my baby. If you see universe within your baby's mouth, you will be, shocked. But she was shocked, actually, for a moment. But then after that, Krishna again covered her with Yogamaya. Again, oh, he's just my baby. So he knows how to extract the loving propensity out of the devotee. And if the devotee wants to serve him in that way, he'll give facility. So here in this material world, everybody forgets him, his glories. In the spiritual world also, people may forget his glories. Nobody knows his glories. Me, no one knows, Krishna says. What is that? 726. वेदाहं समतीतानि वर्तमानानि चार्जुन भविष्याणि च भूतानि मां तु वेद न कश्चन. O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. No one knows means absolutely no one, even he himself sometimes. That is also said. It is a bit controversial. How can Krishna not know about himself? No, he knows, but the moment he knows, his qualities increase. And then his knowledge will accommodate to understand his qualities, and again his qualities will increase. If you see the incarnation of Caitanya Mahaprabhu, why Krishna had to come as Caitanya Mahaprabhu? Of course, in one way, the external reason is to distribute the holy name and save the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. But the internal reason is to understand himself, because he could not understand himself adequately by being in the position of Krishna. Because he knows, you see, Krishna is Madan Mohan. Madan means Cupid, the sex attraction between boy and girl in this material world. This is by the influence of Cupid. Now, he is called Madan Mohan. He is attractor of even Cupid. That means one can come out of the attraction of sex by surrendering to Krishna. Sex life is the Adi Rasa in the material world. That means it is the most intense happiness in this material world. Adi Rasa. But even that, Yanmaithunadi Grahamedi Sukham Hi Tuchham will be felt like garbage. For the pig, garbage is very exciting. When he sees a heap of garbage, he is dancing all over. But you will, run away from there. So it is nobody even wants to go near. So a devotee who has achieved Krishna consciousness, for him this attraction is nothing. He is not even attracted. He spits at it. Sushtu nishtivanam cha. Yamunacharya says. So that is the position of spiritual happiness. It is so intense that even the so-called best happiness of this material world is insignificant compared to it. Now, in the case of Yashoda and Arjuna, and similar other, like even cowherd boyfriends and all the gopis, they so-called slight Krishna sometimes. And all this is in the intense mood of loving service to Krishna. See? So, but nobody really knows Krishna. So he himself, let's see, Brahma says, Gunatmanastepi gunan vimatum hitavatirnasya ka ishiresya kalena yairva vimita sukalpair bhupam shavah khemih kadyubhasah. In time, learned philosophers or scientists may be able to count all the atoms of the earth, the particles of snow, or perhaps even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, the stars, and other luminaries. But among these learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended onto the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities? So there is, even if one day we are so advanced in scientific study that we can count the number of atoms on the earth, or the shining molecules of the sun, or the particles of snow, still we will have absolutely zero clue of the number of qualities of Krishna, what to speak of actually knowing them. श्री भगवान वाच जन्म कर्माभिधानानि सन्ति मेंग सहस्रशः न शक्यन्ते अनुसंख्यातुम् अनंतत्वान् मयापि हि. Krishna says, the Supreme Lord said this. He said to Mutukunda, my dear friend, I have taken thousands of births, lived thousands of lives, and accepted thousands of names. In fact, my births, activities, and names are limitless, and thus even I cannot count them. Krishna is saying. So, to understand more about himself, he has come as Caitanya Mahaprabhu. How is it that? How is that so? Now let's see. Two verses are there. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Shaktirasman Ekatmana Vapi Bhuvipura Deha Bhedam Gatau Chaitanyakhyam Prakatam Tadvayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhavadyuti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. See, the loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, previously they separated themselves. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. So this is Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Many people, Hindus, actually, they do not know who Caitanya Mahaprabhu is. He is Krishna himself. In the Bhaktavataram, Bhaktarupa. So he came as a devotee of Krishna to teach us how to become a devotee of Krishna. Then the next verse. Shri Radhayah Pranaya Mahima Kidrisho Vanayaiva Swadyo Yena Adbhuta Madhurima Kidrisho Vamadiyah Saukhyam Chasya Madanubhavatah Kidrisham Veti Lobhat Tadbhavadhyah Samajanishachi Garbhasindho Harinduhu. You see, three things. Desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Shachi Devi as the moon appeared from the ocean. So three things. So you see, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes. Alone means only Radharani, not even Krishna. So you see, a devotee can understand about the Lord, of course, not ordinary devotees, Radharani. She could understand more about Krishna than Krishna himself. And that is because of love. So anyway, the point is, nobody can understand Krishna, whether in the material or spiritual worlds. So Arjuna is in the Sakhya Rasa, unlike Hanuman. So he sometimes, is friendly and sometimes rashly addresses him, makes fun of him, all these things. Then there is Vatsalya Rasa, which is parental love, like Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, not shake the leg. Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, and the elderly cowherd men and women in the Vrindavan, and also in the Mathura and Dwaraka. So they have parental love for Krishna, Vasudev, Devaki. So actually nobody can be parent of Krishna. But Krishna accepts parents if they want to serve him like that. Because a mother and father, they actually serve the children for many years. Right? So, such service, if a devotee wants to do for Krishna, Krishna allows. In fact, whatever relationships we find in this material world are only existing because they exist with Krishna. Should not shake the leg. Okay. So, the only reason why everything exists here is because it's a reflection of the spiritual world, perverted reflection. So here we have many relationships, but everything is not satisfactory here. For a while it is exciting, but after that it ends up in a lot of misery. Even if some say the relationship has been good the entire life, still it won't last. One day death will come and take away. So there is no point investing too much in the relationships here. The only thing we can do for our relations here is to introduce them to Krishna and introduce them to their real relationship with Krishna. So anyway, parental love and then conjugal love, which is even more intimate. Radharani and the gopis or the queens of Dwaraka, they sometimes even criticize Krishna, but out of love. There is the famous Brahmara Gita, where Srimati Radharani speaks to like a mad woman, she speaks to the bumblebee. It is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10, chapter 47, texts 12 to 21. 10 verses are there. Brahmara Gita. Transcendental madness. Divyonmada, it is called technically. Divyonmada. Unmada means madness. Like not just ordinary madness. Unmada means highest degree of madness. But such degree is Divyonmada. Divyonmada. And Caitanya Mahaprabhu also exhibited such Divyonmada. If you read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Antya Leela, you will see the behavior of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We cannot understand actually when we read. We can only read. We cannot understand how he's doing that in madness. And like we at least are trained by His Grace Sundar Prabhu, whenever we preach, and of course this is Prabhupada's style anyway. So whenever you preach, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also did the same thing, whenever we preach or talk about philosophy, we have to quote reference from the Shastra. Otherwise the point has no validity, no basis. That was the standard of talking previously in spiritual circles. So actually I did not continue a part in the beginning. Okay, anyway, we will get to that. Yes. So here three things Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he to understand Krishna himself through the feelings of Radharani. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also relished that. In the Antya Leela you can see, in the mood of Radharani, he relished through the transcendental madness. So in this way, people have different relationships here. Now these are pure devotees. Whereas the demigods are different. So what I was telling in the beginning was that Moses, in the Bhaktivinoda Thakur said this, as Moses is in the dāsa. And he went out of the borders of India. He established religion outside the borders of India. And then Hazrat Muhammad, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, is in the Sakhyaras, in the mood of friendship. Now, he did not exactly preach that mood of friendship there in the Middle Eastern region, but he preached according to the time and circumstance there. But internally, this was his position. Then Jesus is said to be situated in Vatsalya Ras. parental love. But of course, he also did not preach that. But at least he was an embodiment of that. And finally, he said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur at that time predicted, but Madhurya Ras hasn't gone out of the borders of India. And then he predicted, soon there will be a powerful personality who will, move unrestricted in this world and spread Madhurya Ras beyond the borders of India. And this was marked this. This was in 1875, before aeroplanes came into, aeroplanes were not there. How can a person, if he was to go in a ship, how can he cover the entire world and spread the Harinam? But Bhaktivinoda Thakur at that time predicted that soon a personality will appear, a powerful personality who will unrestrictedly preach the Madhurya Ras everywhere. And you see, Prabhupada, he established Radha Krishna temples everywhere, all over the world. So the point is, every acharya that comes, or prophet, even within the Vedic fold or outside of it, is sent by Krishna for that particular time and circumstance and situation. But of course, after that, there will be a complete distortion of religious principles, because of which religion itself seems to be a problem. And because of that, there is widespread strife and fighting. So actually, that is misrepresented version of the religion, but not the original religion, any religion for that matter. None of the religions actually advocate wanton violence. No. Some Hindutva people will disagree with that, but if they study the conversation of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they can see what was the intention and what was the circumstances under which Hazrat Muhammad had to preach in his time. But of course, downline there was some distortion. That's another thing. So anyway, now the point is here, among Hindus, the point in the beginning was that Abrahamic faiths, they say one God and we say only Krishna. Oh, you're like Abrahamic religions. But no, that is actually a fact. There is only one God. That's it. The 330 million of them, devatas, they are not gods. They are devatas, not Bhagavan. Nowhere in the Shastras, in our own Shastras, nowhere it is said that Lord Shiva is supreme, or Durga is supreme, or Ganesh is supreme, Kartikeya is supreme. Nowhere. Even if those demigods are sometimes glorified in some Puranas, there is two nice verses. Caitanya Mahaprabhu quoted this. From the Padma Purana. Vyamohaya characharasya jagatas te purana tam eva hi devatam paramikam jalpantu kalpavadhi siddhante punareka eva bhagavan vishnu samastagama vyapareshu vivechana vyatikaram niteshu nischiyate. There are many types of Vedic literatures and supplementary Puranas. In each of them, there are particular demigods who are spoken of as the chief demigods. This is just to create an illusion for moving and non-moving living entities. Let them perpetually engage in such imaginations. However, when one analytically studies all these Vedic literatures collectively, he comes to the conclusion that Lord Vishnu is the one and only Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, one can come up and show any kind of verse from any scriptures. This is the verse answer to that. And this another verse is from Padma Purana, Skanda Purana and Linga Purana. Alodya sarva shastrani vicharya cha punah punah idam ekam sunishpannam dhyeyo narayana sada. By scrutinizingly reviewing all the revealed scriptures and judging them again and again, it is now concluded that Lord Narayana is the supreme absolute truth, and thus he alone should be worshipped. The significant word here is alone. Not with any devatas put together or Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. No. Even Brahma and Shiva, they can do their duties of creation and destruction only because they have been invested by the power by Narayana. Without Narayana, they cannot do anything. They have no power. Nobody has any power. Even such greatest of the demigods. Therefore, a devotee, he should respect demigods as exalted servitors of Krishna. All respect should be given to them, but never worship them as the supreme. We cannot do that. That is an offense to Krishna. To equate anyone to Krishna, yastu Narayanam Devam. Brahmarudradi Daivataihi Samatvenaiva Viksheta Sa Pashandi Bhavedhruvam. See how strong word is used. A person who considers demigods like Brahma and Shiva to be on an equal level with Narayana is to be considered an offender or Pashandi. In fact, another translation of Pashandi is atheist. He is an atheist who says that Krishna and Shiva or Brahma are same. Heavy word is used. And 2 to 33, let's go to 2 to 33 and then 2 to 34. This is Brahma is saying, Nahyatonyah Shivah Pantha Vishatah Samsrita Viha Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yogo Yato Bhavet. For those who are wandering in the material universe, there is no more auspicious means of deliverance than what aims at the direct devotional service of Lord Krishna. And then, next verse. Bhagavan Brahma Kartsanyena Triranvikshya Manishaya Tadadhyavasyat Kutastho Ratiratmanyato Bhavet. The great personality Brahma, with great attention and concentration of the mind, studied the Vedas 3 times, and after scrutinizingly examining them, he ascertained that attraction for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the highest perfection of religion. Okay? Brahma himself is saying, we are no greater than Brahma, so let's not try to compete and try to argue anymore. So this has to be very clearly understood. Many Hindus, they fail at this point. They have one, what is it called? Collage. Photo collage of all devatas. And sometimes they're not even devatas, sometimes added human beings also now. Kali Yuga, no? From Supreme Personality of Godhead, they come to devatas. Now from devatas, they come to human beings. Sometimes even ghosts. Yeah, Muniswaran, Muni Andi, what are those? Ghostly associates of Lord Shiva. And they're already worshipping him. Here in Singapore, many were quite well known. Then, human beings. Some Baba will be there. Sai Baba. From where? Nowhere in the Shastra. Simply. And moreover, the Shirdi Sai Baba is a Muslim man. Hindus worshipping. Temple. And they say Sai Ram. Sai is a human being. Ram is Supreme Personality of Godhead. How can you mix both of them like that? Offense. Are Brahma and Shiva, if you equate with Krishna, you already are offender. Put human and Supreme Personality of Godhead together. Many Hindus don't like to hear all these things. Oh, no, we are the most compassionate religion. Even atheists are welcome. Charvak Muni was there. There is one popular, social speaker, Sri Radham, Anand Ranganathan. Of course, he is fighting for Hindus' rights and all that legally in India. But he considers himself an atheist. I'm a Hindu atheist, he says. What is the meaning of a Hindu atheist? Charvak Muni is not a Hindu. He's an atheist. There's no such thing as Hindu and atheist at the same time. I mean, religion and atheism is also incorporated into this religion. Everything is possible in this religion. Then why the need of religion? You can do anything now. Why the need of religion even? If you can eat meat, if you can have illicit sex, if you can have to do anything and everything under the sun, then why you need religion? Basically, they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be told anything. They say, "Oh, Hinduism is the most accommodating religion." Yes, we are accommodating. Yes, that is a fact. That's why we have so many demigod worships and everything. Because Krishna is accommodating in the sense that today he said Avidhi Purvakam, those who worship other devatas, they worship actually supposed to worship me, but they do it in a wrong way. But Krishna allows, okay, never mind, even if it is wrong way, you come. At least come in contact with me, even though indirectly. Who are the demigods? They are proxies of Krishna. What is Avidhi Purvakam? Prabhupada explained very nicely. Suppose you go and meet a saintly person. You have to touch him. Where to touch him? His feet. That is the proper way to respect a saintly person. But if I go and touch his head, is that the way to touch him? That is called Avidhi Purvakam, not according to the proper standard. That is offensive actually. So, to worship Krishna directly is the proper way. To go through the demigods by proxy is an indirect way. And Krishna actually doesn't like it, but he allows it. At least don't go away from me. At least go to my proxy. At least they are my authorized agents. At least in that way, little bit you will. So even though somebody may touch the sadhu may sometimes not say anything. He will just tolerate it. Although he knows it is wrong. He may, if the person doesn't know the etiquette and everything properly, he may sometimes not say anything. So Krishna is like that because we don't know the etiquette. So Krishna is allowing us, okay, even if you do not know, if you want to go to devatas for your own material benefits, you go, at least you stay within the Vedic fold. But to worship the demigods, you have to do Krishna Puja, Vishnu Puja. And then the results of such sacrifice only can be given to the devatas. You actually cannot worship the devatas independently. If you see the mantras that are chanted for devatas, first the mantra of Krishna is chanted, Vishnu. And then the devatas are offered the share of their sacrifice. So, so in that way, at least officially he has to offer his respects to Vishnu, and that is the real medicine, not the fruitive rewards of heavenly planets and beautiful wife. These are all some childish candy. When you want the child to take a medicine, you will give some sweet, take this, and at the side you will give medicine also. So actually the medicine is what will cure him, but the child is thinking the sweet is is the blessing or is the favor that my father gave me. But actually it's not the favor, it's the medicine, but he doesn't want to take it. So he will just, by some trickery, he will give him some medicine. So it is only trickery, this whole demigod worship. It is not meant for the intelligent class of men. But like when you are an adult, if I have to give you sugar candy to give you some medicine, that means you are retarded. Right? I have to understand that I have to take this medicine, even if it is bitter, even though I don't like it, I have to just take it. I have to swallow the bitter pill. And I understand. But if I will be like that if I do like an adult. Retarded. So Alpa Buddhi, those who have no intelligence, retarded people, they can worship the demigods. That is stated. I mean, not me saying, Krishna is saying. Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavatyalpamedhasam devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. You see, alpamedhasam, medhasa means intelligence. Alpa means very, very little. Very little. Not much. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods. And their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Recently there was controversy in ISKCON, Yatomat Tatopat. Vivekananda. Vivekananda's philosophy is Yatomat Tatopat. That means, as many ways as you can imagine, all the ways are correct. Will all take you to the same goal. Rubbish. He was talking nonsense. He doesn't know what he's talking actually. Here Krishna says, you worship the demigods, you go to their planet. You worship me, you come to my planet. He's not saying yatama tatapat. He's not saying that. This is nonsense. So, and you see, kamaistaistar hritagyana prapadyantenya devata antam niyamamasthaya prakritya niyata swaya. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. Strong words for a Hindu who has been practicing demigod worship. It is very strong. But we have to swallow the bitter pill, because I expect people here to be not alpamedhasa, sumedhasa. If you have come here, you are intelligent. Not because, oh, you have come here, I am saying. No, it is actually true. So don't be alpamedhasa and get all riled up. Hey, how you can say like that? No, I can say like that because Krishna says like that. You go and argue with him. So, here, 1840, Bhagavad Gita. Natadasti prithivyam va divi deveshu va punah sattvam prakriti jairmuktam yadebhih syat tribhir gunaihim. There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems which is freed from these three modes born of material nature. Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamogun. Even the demigods are under these modes. They are also not free of it. What to speak of us? So how can they give us moksha? Moksha, how they can give us? From these three modes of material nature. Tribhir gunamayair bhavair ebhih sarvamidam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhyah paramavyayam. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. And Arjuna also says, Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam ajam vibhum ahustvam varshayah sarve devarshir naradas asito devalo vyasah swayam chaiva bravishime. Then you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala and Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. Finally he says, Sarvameta dhritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidur deva anadanava. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Demigods also cannot understand him. Name viduh suraganah prabhavanna maharshayah aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. Great tapasvis, yogis, sadhus, they cannot understand Krishna. Demigods cannot understand Krishna. That means who is great? Krishna is the greatest. They cannot doubt this. Okay? Now, Lord Shiva says, Mukti pradata sarvesham vishnurevana samshayah. Lord Shiva, what did he say? There is no doubt that Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone. If you want, Lord Shiva said, I can give my devotee anything except moksha. Mukti I cannot give. Mukti, if you want, you would go to Vishnu. Now, what is the use of going for anything else? What is the use of anything else? Antavat tu phalam tesham. Antavat means it has an end. Everything has an end here. Any benediction. Brahma gave Hiranyakashipu benedictions. Hiranyakashipu was finished. Shiva gave benedictions to Ravana. Ravana was finished. So one can be a great worshipper of demigods and still be called a demon. But one who worships Vishnu, even though he may be in the family of demons, he will still be a devotee. You see, Ravana, his father was a great Brahmana. Great Brahmana. Actually, he was from a very good family. Even Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Kashyapa Muni. So, Kashyapa Gotra, we have Brahmanas coming in that Gotra. So, very exalted. But they are seen as the worst Rakshasas. Why? Against Vishnu. Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin. Daiva asura evacha. Vishnu bhakta smrito daiva asurastad viparyaya. Two classes of people in this world. Daiva, asura. Daiva means those who are Vishnu bhakta. Everybody else is asura. Even if he is Durga bhakta, Shiva bhakta, Brahma bhakta, Ganesh bhakta, Kartika bhakta, asura. This is strong word. But that is not my words. This is what the Shastras say. Padma Puran is saying. Whatever we speak, I am showing you. I will show you this verse also. Otherwise, you will say, hey, this guy invented some verse. It's different from the here also. Adi 391. No? Here also it is quoted. Dvaubhuta Padma Puran. Okay? Vishnu Bhakta. You see, Dvaubhuta Sargo Lokesmin Daiva Asura Evacha Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Daiva. Asuras Tad Viparyaya. Anyone who is a devotee of Lord Krishna is called a Deva, and others, even though they may be devotees of demigods, are called Asuras. Ravana, for example, was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, but he is described as an Asura. Similarly, Hiranyakashipu was described as a great devotee of Lord Brahma, yet he was also an Asura. So this we have to understand. And this verse is there. अर्चे विष्णु शिलाधिर गुरुषु नरमतिर वैष्णवे जाति बुद्धिर विष्णोर्वा वैष्णवानां कलिमलमथने पादतीर्थेम्बु बुद्धि श्री विष्णोर्नाम्नि मंत्रे सकल कलुषहे शब्द सामान्य बुद्धिर विष्णौ सर्वेश्वरेशे तदितर समधिर यस्य वा नारकीसः. One who thinks the deity in the temple to be made of wood or stone, who thinks the spiritual master in the disciplic succession as an ordinary man, who thinks the Vaishnava in the Achyuta Gotra to belong to a certain caste or creed, or who thinks of the Charanamrita or Ganges or Ganga water as ordinary water, is taken to be a resident of hell. And actually, it's not the full translation, honestly. You know why? Because the last part is not translated. Vishnu Sarveshware, the last line is not translated. Vishnu Sarveshwareshe tad itara samadhir yasya va naraki. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, if we think him equal to itara samadhir, itara means others. If we think itara samadhir yasya va naraki saha, he is a resident of hell. So all these verses are there, please remember. And now, so demigods cannot save us. Yeah? Because they themselves are within the modes of material nature, right? 429-45 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Shabda Brahmani Dushpare Charanta Uru Vistare Mantralingair Vyavacchinnam bhajanto na viduh param. Despite the cultivation of Vedic knowledge, which is unlimited, and the worship of different demigods by the symptoms of Vedic mantras, demigod worship does not help one to understand the supreme powerful personality of Godhead. So, therefore, we should not worship the demigods. We should all respect them, yes. Just like we respect even an ant. That does not mean we do ant puja. Don't start putting ant on the altar and worship the ant. Huh? We don't do that, right? So, respect we will give. Worshipping is illegal. According to Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. If we are to follow Bhagavad Gita, then this is the injunction. If you want to do anything we like, yeah, then the consequences also will be anything we like. Will be accordingly. So now, we don't have much time actually, but I would like to show a few verses quickly on why we should not worship demigods, but every morning we are doing Guru Puja. You know, starting, the first song in the morning is Samsara Davana Lead Haloka. This is the Guru Ashtaka song composed by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur for Srila Prabhupada. And Guru Vandana at 7 o'clock again we will do Guru Puja. How then can we worship an Acharya who is not a Devata, who is seemingly an ordinary human being? How can we worship him? We should only worship Krishna, no, directly. Why are we worshipping then Acharya? When Krishna said, worship me directly. So, this is something Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he explained. Actually, he did explain. But just that, he did not highlight this too much. See, Bhagavad Gita is for the beginners. So, he explained. Actually, I will show you. 4:15. एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतम्. All the liberated souls in ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty following in their footsteps. You should follow the footsteps of the Mahajans, the great Acharyas who have already attained Krishna. Okay? More explicitly, 4:34, he says this. तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So we have to serve him, surrender to him. Acharyopasanam, that is also stated in the 13th chapter. There are many, these are all godly qualities. These are the signs of knowledge. Today's education system have none of these. None of these. Amanittam adambhittam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthiryam atma vinigraha. This word acharyopasanam means we have to approach the acharya. Nowadays, Hindus have conveniently translated this as acharya. Guru means teacher. In the primary school, secondary school, these are all gurus. Here, this is your guru. I respect the teacher. Conveniently. They don't stand for any principles. Whatever is there, go with the flow. That is the Hindu. No sense of actually understanding what is actually Acharya, what is Guru. Guru means, you know what is Guru? What is the meaning of the word Guru? Guru means heavy. Heavy. Why Guru? That means fat man? Is that Guru? No. Heavy with knowledge. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini. He is heavy with knowledge. Not Laghu. Fragile, frail, light. No. Heavy with knowledge. So that is Guru. So knowledge of what? About spirit and matter. About understanding who am I, who is God, what is spirit, what is matter. You should know everything from the Shastra. That is Guru. Not who teaches you some, what is this? English, mathematics. Yeah, they are teachers to an extent, give you some skills. It's not that we are not saying don't respect them. But when the word Acharya Pasanam, Guru, these are used, not only for those who teach us ordinary things, but especially, this Acharya Pasanam is especially to the bona fide spiritual master who educates us in transcendental knowledge. Today, Hindus, Brahmana families, they will do what? Upanayana Samskar, Janevu, sacred thread. They put. The boy becomes 8, 9 or 10 years old, they will do Janevu Samskar, Upanayana. Right? Rubbish. What they're doing is rubbish. Why? Because the real meaning of the Upanayana means he has to start his studies in the Gurukul under the tutelage of the Guru. That is the meaning of Upanayanam. Upanaya means to come closer to God. That is the meaning of Upanayanam. But after Upanayana, nothing. Same materialistic studies, full of material desires. Oh, I want to do degree here, I want to go Canada, I want to go here. America, London, Australia, everywhere. Other than home. Somewhere. That means I'm advanced. If I go far away and study, advanced. But go far away and then stay with the Guru and study, that is all cheapskate. Nobody values, nobody even respects this. If a sadhu comes to one's home, one will take blessings. Own son becomes sadhu, he will call him a rascal. Why did you become sadhu? Now who will maintain? Where is your money? No understanding that Krishna can provide, he will provide. Why cannot provide? But providing is not the thing. We have to do some, prachar. First of all, learn ourselves and teach this knowledge. That is what is required in society. Scientific advancement, technological advancement won't give you anything. It will give you illusion that you are advancing. Recently we published a YouTube short, criticizing the moon landing mission, the moon mission by India, Chandrayaan. Not explicitly, but because that is a hot topic nowadays. So Prabhupada's one quote of saying, even if they go to the moon, so let's say they've gone to the moon, what did they achieve? Brought back some dust and stones. So is that a great achievement? They are eager to find life on other planets and yet very eager to kill life on this planet. There they want to find bacteria, virus. Here, big, humans are being killed, animals are being killed, whales, sharks, everybody being killed. Here they don't care. All the crap, nonsense. What is the use of that? Even Ravana wanted to build a staircase to heaven. He also tried this. Not that Elon Musk is something unprecedented, never before in human history. No, all was done before. And even done successfully. Vishwamitra could create his own planet. Kardama Muni was doing tapasya in the forest. And when, he got married, the Devahuti, she was a princess, but she was serving him very humbly, and for many, many years she was serving him, and she became frail and weak and thin, only bones. And one day he looked at her and he became compassionate. Oh, she has been serving me so nicely. So okay, I'll take you on a joyride. By his mystic power, he created one airplane, and not like, so-called business class and first class, you have to sit down still on one seat like that for the entire flight. Little bit you can do like that is first class. You can put your hand like that is first class. It's not this kind of crap plane. And it was making, this plane makes a huge noise, pollution, everything is nonsense. He created a plane in which there was an entire city. And it has gardens, palaces, lakes, maidservants, servants. And they were enjoying in this plane. And this plane could not just go for, some Los Angeles to California or some Singapore to San Francisco. No. It was going to every single planet. Every single planet they were going and enjoying in the gardens there. So you may say, oh, this is all mythology, some fantasy, some tales. This is exactly what the Westerners want you to think. That we were all some unenlightened, stupid people in India sitting down. Those Europeans came and delivered us. Don't fall for this stupidity. People are doing all this before. Not that Elon Musk is some greatest man of all, goat, they say goat. Yeah, he Bakra. Greatest of all time, they say. GOAT. And it's Bakra. That's all they are. They're just jumping up and down. What is this Virgin Atlantic? What is his name? Branson. What is it? Richard Branson. Richard Branson, Jeff Bezos, they went private flight to the space, come back. Few minutes in space and come back. Hare, what are you doing, like jumping like monkeys? We don't take this very seriously. These are stupid. They're not even advancement. They are actually, it is said, somebody, I don't know who said it, but as the men grow bigger from boys to men, only the toys, the size of the toys become bigger. That's all. Nothing has changed here. As kids, they are playing with small toys. When they become big toys. That's all. There is no maturity in the head. Who am I? I may jump from Earth to Mars or whatever. I will die one day. Elon Musk said, I would rather die on Mars. That will be novel. I know I have to die, but if I can die on Mars, I will consider that a success of my life. That is his understanding. That's it. Die on Mars. Is this advancement? Advancement means no more birth and death. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. Dukkha doshana. You see here. Acharyopasanam shaucham sthairyam atma vinigraha. Indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. Asakte ranabhishvangaha putradhara grahadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu. Mai chananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini vivikta desha sevitvam aratir janasamsadi adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam etagyanam iti proktam agyanam yatatonyatha. Let's read the translation of this. I will have to go another 5 to 10 minutes. I'm sorry. We started late. We should have started a little earlier. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, perception of the evil of birth, death, old age and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with wife, children, home and the rest, even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and the philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these are declared to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever they may be, is ignorance. And today's education system does not embody even one of these qualities. Not even one. That means whatever we are learning is one bundle of ignorance. And the entire childhood is molded in that way. We are not saying these are not necessary. But to the exclusion of transcendental knowledge, you treat school as very important. Every day you must go to school, go to school. Office is very important. Go to school, go to office, go to office, go to office. Where temple? Janmashtami, Rath Yatra, Radhashtami. What is that? Recreation, some kind of holiday or some time pass. If we have some time, let's see. This is our priority levels at the moment. So, these are signs of knowledge. So, Acharyopasanam, very important. Now, compared to the demigods, the Acharyas are way higher. Let's actually go to this verse first. This one? No. What is the other one? 11:17. This one? Yeah. Acharyam mam vijaniyan navamanyeta karhichit na martya buddhya suyeta sarvadeva mayo guruhu. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods. And he is the representative of all the demigods. 11:6. Bhajanti ye yatha devan deva api tathaiva tan chhayeva karma sachivah sadhavo dina vatsalah. Those who worship the demigods receive reciprocation from the demigods in a way just corresponding to the offering. The demigods are attendants of karma like a person's shadow, but sadhus are actually merciful to the fallen. Why the sadhus are merciful? संतो दिशन्ति चक्षुंसि बहिरर्कः समुत्थितः देवता बान्धवाः सन्तः संत आत्माहमेव च. My devotees bestow divine eyes, whereas the sun allows only external sight. They are even greater than the sun. The sun allows only external sight, and that only when it is risen in the sky. My devotees are one's real worshipable deities and real family. They are one's own self, and ultimately they are non-different from me. So the devotees, they will go even to the fallen people and try to save them. Huh? Those who are, engrossed in all kinds of materialistic, sinful activities, the sadhus will try to save them by introducing them to Krishna. So this is why sadhus are way more purifying than even the demigods. Yat pada samshrayah sutam munayah prashamayanaah sadyah punantyupasprishtaah svardhunyaponu sevaya. O Suta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the waters of the Ganges or Ganga can sanctify only after prolonged use. They are even purer than the Ganga. Where everybody wants to go Ganga Snan, Ganga Jal they will take. But you can do Snan in Ganga water for thousands of years. Still you will not get as much purification as by just seeing a sadhu. Sometimes people are, very enthusiastic about going for pilgrimage, going for Ganga Snan, Yamuna Snan or something, but not very enthusiastic to come to temple and listen. यस्यात्म बुद्धि कुणपेत्रि धातुके स्वधि कलत्रादिषु भौम इज्यधीः यत्तीर्थ बुद्धिः सलिलेन कर्हिचित् जनेष्वभिज्ञेषु स एव गोखरः. If one goes to tirtha buddhi, salile, that means if one thinks pilgrimage is a place of holy water, some holy waters or something, and some snan somewhere, that is a pilgrimage. That is mistaken idea. That is the idea of a animal. Sa eva gokhara. An ass also does the same thing. He will go and take some water from the Ganga and he will lick the water and drink. We are not saying one should not go Ganga Snan and all that. We should do. But just to be at that level and not go the next step. Why are we to go to the pilgrimage? What is the reason? Because in the pilgrimage there is a more probability to meet saintly persons. Just like sometimes there are expo, business expo, some, whatever, so different. So you will go there. Why you will go there? There is more probability of meeting similar businessmen, similar trades. If you want to shop something, if there is a bazaar, special bazaar, sometimes they have, then you will go there because there is more probability to find what you want there. So the whole point of going to a holy place is to find people who are holy. Actually, the holy places become holy because of the holy people. Otherwise, and they can make any place into a holy place. What is that? Tirthi kurvanti tirthani svantasthena gadabhrata. Srimad Bhagavatam 1:13-10. What is that? See, Prabhupada went to America, New York, and he chanted under the Tompkins Square Park with the Kartal, and that was the beginning of the entire movement. Now still there is a memorial at the Tompkins Square Park. It's a holy place now. Holy place in America. And all the countries like that Prabhupada went. They're all holy places. So wherever there is devotional service to Krishna, that is a holy place. Even if it be in hell, it is still a holy place. Oh. Very good. This is connected and off. Anyway, we're almost done, but switch it on. I don't want it to go off. Janeshu abhigneshu saiva gokhara. Huh? So, last two verses. पृथ्वी रेणुरणुपयांसि कणिकाः फल्गुः स्फुलिङ्गो लघुस् तेजो निःश्वसनं मरुत्तनुतरं रन्ध्रं सुसूक्ष्मं नभा क्षुद्रा रुद्रपितामह प्रभृतयः कीटाः समस्ताः सुरा दृष्टे यत्र स तारको विजयते श्रीपादधूलिकणा. Once our Savior has been seen, who is that? Lord Vishnu. The whole earth becomes no greater than a speck of dust. People are so much interested in conquering the earth, fighting wars are going on. You will not be interested. The whole earth becomes no greater than a speck of dust. Who will be interested in some particle of dust? Nobody. All the waters of the ocean become mere droplets. The totality of fire becomes a minute spark. The winds become just a faint sigh, and the expanse of space becomes a tiny hole. Great lords like Rudra and grandfather Brahma become insignificant, and all demigods become like small insects. Indeed, even one particle of dust from our Lord's feet conquers them all. This is from Mukundamala Stotra by Kulashekar Alvar. No. And finally, नाथे नः पुरुषोत्तमे त्रिजगताम् एकाधिपे चेतसा सेव्ये स्वस्य पदस्य दातरि परे नारायणे तिष्ठति यं कञ्चित् पुरुषाधमं कतिपया ग्रामेशमल्पार्थदम् सेवायै मृगयामहे नरमहो मूढावरा वयम्. Mukundamala Sutra, verse 17. Our Master, the personality of Godhead Narayana, who alone rules the three worlds, whom one can serve in meditation and who happily shares his personal domain, is manifest before us. Yet still we beg for the service of some minor lord of a few villages, some lowly man who can only meagerly reward us. Alas, what foolish wretches we are. That's why finally Krishna says, सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. Abandon all varieties of religion, all kinds of worship, everything abandon. Sometimes we think, oh, I have been worshipping for so long, if I suddenly stop demigod worship, what will the Ganeshji or Shivalinga on my altar think? They will be very happy. They will be very happy that you have stopped worshipping them. They don't like it. Okay. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Lord Shiva is saying this. Yah param ramha sahasakshat trigunajiva samgitat bhagavantam vasudevam prapannah sapriyo hime. Lord Shiva is telling this, okay, in the Rudra Gita. Lord Shiva continued, any person who is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the controller of everything, material nature as well as living entity, is actually very dear to me. Those who surrender to Krishna are actually very dear to Lord Shiva. If you surrender to him, you are not actually very dear to him. So we should worship the Acharya, the devotee. Okay, so I think I'll stop here. It's going on too much. Thank you very much. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.